Segu agwegu, deganadasa ningas. What I said was, welcome everyone. My traditional name is Deganadasa. My English name is Ron McCluster, and I'm the Executive Director for Truth, Reconciliation, and Indigenization at Algonquin College. I am honored to be able to provide a few opening remarks this evening, and I'm also honored to welcome each of you to this year's Algonquin College Convocation ceremonies. As guests, Algonquin College is proud to acknowledge that the convocation ceremony is taking place on the unceded, unsurrendered territory of the Anishinaabe Algonquin people. In recognition of this, our graduate procession is accompanied by members of the Ottawa River Singers. Using traditional language of the Anishinaabe people, their song is a message of encouragement, and the drum represents the heartbeat of Mother Earth. It's that heartbeat that connects all things. Ladies and gentlemen, may I please ask you to rise and remain standing as we welcome the students, staff, and faculty of Algonquin College class of 2018. Yawango Yoyanladi.
Good evening. Please be seated. Before we begin, we just want to say thank you again to the Ottawa River Singers for leading us in and for their performance in celebration of our students. It was a very meaningful and a fitting way to begin our ceremony. Once again, to the Ottawa River Singers. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Convocation 2018. My name is Claude Brûlé. I am the Senior Vice President Academic at the college, and this evening it's my distinct honor to act as your Master of Ceremony, helping to guide us all through tonight's festivities. It's also my honor to extend a sincere welcome to our graduates, their families, and friends. Convocation is a very important event, a time to celebrate our graduates' achievement. You, our graduates, came to the college with a dream. You have successfully completed your studies, and tonight you will receive your diploma or certificate recognizing that achievement. You're now ready to meet the challenges that lay ahead. We wish you well, and we're delighted to be here this evening to celebrate with you. We also welcome all of our friends and families who are watching via our live web streaming. We're so thrilled that you're able to join us this evening for this wonderful celebration. Now, at this point, I would like to ask all who are able to please stand and join our vocalist, Nathaniel Pinnock, in the singing of our national anthem. Please rise.
O Canada, our home and native land, true patriot love, in all thy sons command, with glowing hearts we see thee rise, the true north, strong and free. From far and wide, O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. God, keep our land glorious and free. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee. O Canada, we stand on guard for thee.
What a great voice. Thank you, Nathaniel. Ladies and gentlemen, please be seated. I will now introduce the members of the stage party, beginning on my left. I would ask that they remain standing until all have been introduced, and that the audience please withhold your applause until all have been introduced. Christopher Hahn, Dean, Algonquin College, Perth Campus. Dr. Gail Beck, Member, Board of Governors. Shelley Fournier, Member, Board of Governors. Mr. Robin Lee, son of the late Leonard Lee, Honorary Degree recipient. Cheryl Jansen, President. Ron DeGennison McLester, Executive Director, Truth, Reconciliation, and Indigenization. Barbara DeMonthill, Indigenous Elder. Dejanelle Simon, President, Students Association. Laura Stanbra, Vice President, Student Services. Sarah Munro, Chair, Algonquin College, Perth Campus. Shelley Stiles, Director, Student Support Services. Paige Nix, Director, Students Association. Kathy Frederick, Vice President, Human Resources. Elena McDonnell, Director, Marketing, and Dr. Krista Pearson, Registrar. You may be seated. And now, may I please ask the faculty and staff to stand. Well, you beat me to it. I was going to say, ladies and gentlemen, please join me in recognizing the faculty and staff of Algonquin College and the contributions they make to the success of our graduates. One more time. Thank you. I will now call upon Cheryl Jansen, President of Algonquin College, to give the President's address. President Jansen.
Well, thanks very much, Claude, and good evening, everyone. Kwe. You know, I'm very honored to be here tonight and have the opportunity to speak to you tonight on your graduation day, your day. And on behalf of the Board of Governors of Algonquin College, I want to welcome all of you, our families, your families, our graduates, and all of your friends that are here with you tonight. Now, some of you may have friends and families who cannot be with us tonight at this special event. Those of you who are from out of town, out of province, or even from other countries. But we know that they are thinking of you with love and with pride. You know, we have students at Algonquin College from almost 100 countries, international students who enrich our culture and teach us so much at Algonquin. And let me add my welcome to all who are watching this event online. So graduates of 2018, I want to thank each and every one of you for choosing Algonquin College. We know that you had many choices, and we're very grateful that you chose us. Now, I may be a little biased, and I know our employees feel the same bias, but I will say with confidence that you chose well. Algonquin's reputation for quality and innovation is well recognized, and you should display your certificate or diploma with a great deal of pride. And speaking of this pride, I know that many of you are joined here tonight by people who support you and who've helped you along this journey as you've been studying at Algonquin. Helped you with encouraging words, late night phone calls perhaps to ease the occasional jitters, picking up a larger share of the household chores, and endless activities of the children, or maybe even an emergency loan or a grant. So let's thank them and tell them that we love them. If you're a family member or a friend of a graduate, could you please stand as you are able so that our graduates and the entire Algonquin community can show their gratitude. Please stand if you're a friend or family member. Thank you. It also helps to stand a little bit in case the ceremony gets a little bit long. I also want to personally thank our employees, our faculty, our staff, and the administration here at Algonquin. This group works so hard to support our students, and it shows. You constantly give us here at Algonquin high marks in student satisfaction for a college of our size. You know, I may have had a chance to talk to you or say hi as we passed each other in the halls when I visited the Perth campus. Tonight is likely, although I hope not, my last chance to chat with you, certainly as a group. So I want to take just a few moments tonight to talk to you about wonder. And to do that, I'm going to start with words of wisdom from one of my favorite philosophers and writers, Dr. Seuss. I love to quote him whenever I can. And you know, Dr. Seuss is on my mind a lot at this time of year, mostly because I give his book, Oh, the Places You'll Go, to every one of my children, my nieces, and my nephews when they graduate from a post-secondary institution. And it's that season. You're graduating, and if you haven't read that book, you should. It's a roadmap to this wonderful journey of life. But this time, my quote is going to be from the musical Seussical. And I quoted this just about a month or so ago when we opened our new space at the Ottawa campus, the DARE District. So here we go. Think and wonder and dream, far and wide as you dare. Think and wonder and dream. That's what you did. It may have started with a dream, maybe when you were young and thinking about your future. And after high school, you came directly here to Algonquin. And I'm sure many of you did that. Some of you, after completing part or all of a university degree, you wondered if you had the complete set of skills you needed to land your dream job or to start your own company. Many of you have plans to go on and complete a degree. Some of you came to us to prepare for a delayed or a second career. Well, I want you to be filled with wonder, forever. I challenge you to keep wonder in your lives as you start on the next phase of your life journey. Wonder. Wonder like my daughter Lorraine. One Sunday morning, very early, when she was very small, I heard the toilet flush. Now, she still wore diapers. I opened my eyes very quickly to see her standing by my bed, looking at me. So I asked her why the toilet flushed. She said she flushed her rubber alligator down the toilet. I think at her very young age, she was filled with wonder. She wondered what would happen to that alligator. Would he be free to swim away? She always wondered if she could help people. Now she's a doctor. Then there was my son, Neil. One day, when he was very young, I turned my computer on to do some preparation for my classes. I used to be a professor in this wonderful college system, to a zigzag set of lines on my computer screen, on the monitor, and wouldn't go away or wouldn't allow me to see any of my startup commands, just these crazy stripes. I think Neil must have said, I wonder what would happen if I slide this big paper clip into this tiny little opening, my computer's floppy disk drive. Well, then he wondered how he could turn his love of building things and figuring things out into a career. He's now an industrial electrician, and I'm the proud mom of a very successful college graduate. And then there was my youngest daughter, Monica, who, when she was very little, must have said, I wonder what would happen if I used my paper scissors to cut Chester's whiskers off. I saw her sitting on the stairs, working very hard, and Chester, our cat, sitting very patiently. She then wondered what it would be like what it would take to help those who can't speak for themselves. Now she's a veterinarian. You know, you had a dream that brought you to us. You wondered what your future had in store for you. You wondered what a career change would look like and what it would take to get you there. You wondered how you could change the world, make a difference, and you allowed us to help you transform your hopes and dreams into lifelong success. And you've worked so hard to get where you are today. I know this. I have seen you. I have read about you. I've been told your stories by proud faculty and staff. Stories like Haley Bowes, a graduate of the Perth campus social service worker program, who after she graduated continued with her studies to become a registered social worker and a registered yoga teacher. Haley is now the co-owner of Aruma, a business that offers clients a place for health and happiness, right here in Lanark County. And Skyla Girdwood. In the fall of 2016, Skyla started her college education journey. She was accepted into the early childhood education program at Algonquin. She had her workplace placements in child care centers, including Carleton Place Child Care, St. John Elementary School, and the Take Care Summer Program. And she told us, during my co-op, I was able to work in 3 different placements with 3 different age groups. I loved the work, and it helped me understand that I was in the right field. Then after graduating, Skyla began working as a nanny responsible for 4 children. Shortly after that, she also secured a position working in the after-school program at St. John's Elementary School. Enjoying her current work and seeing the opportunities her education has provided, she says she's excited to keep moving forward in her career. And she said, I'm excited to see where my education brings me. the future is full of possibilities, but right now, I know that I love what I do. And then there was Jacob Morgan, who graduated from the Construction Carpentry Advanced Housing Program in 2013 and helped shepherd Team Ontario's submission to the Solar Decathlon competition in California that same year. He's now a certified Red Seal carpenter and is an entrepreneur running his own construction contracting business and hiring his own skilled tradespeople just 5 years after graduating. He continues to give back to the program and the college through his ongoing participation as a program advisory committee member. And then there's Linda Tremblay, who although she couldn't be with us tonight, graduates from both the August 2017 Heritage Masonry program and the April 2018 Heritage Carpentry program, after having already graduated from our Advanced Housing program in 2016. She's now working on a substantial project where she's engaging the skills and techniques she acquired through her time with the college. And you know, I could go on. I could talk about every single one of you that are here tonight. In Algonquin's 51-year history, we have graduated more than 170,000 learners who are now part of our alumni family and part of communities here and around the world. And we're always here to help you through continuing ed classes, here or online, as you are off and away. Another Dr. Seuss quote. In fact, we'll be following you closely to celebrate your successes, offer assistance for your setbacks, and helping you to wonder as we journey through this wonderful adventure called life together. You are now a proud member of the Algonquin College Alumni and Friends Network. I encourage you to stay connected with your vibrant alumni community that really does stretch around the world. So graduates, before I close, please allow me one more message, one that's so important to me that I say this at every convocation. I believe that we have an obligation to give to our community, as I know you've been doing while you've been studying here at Algonquin. I urge you to care passionately about the things that are important in this world, to bring hope to those where hope is sadly in such short supply. Share your talents and your gifts with others. Make a difference in your own way to create a better world for our children and for our grandchildren. You play such an important role in the future of our college and in ensuring that others can reap the benefits, as you have, of a quality and life-changing education that has certainly transformed your hopes and dreams. So let me share another favorite quote of mine, this one by anthropologist and author Margaret Mead, who I think says it best. Never doubt that a small group of thoughtful, committed citizens can change the world. Indeed, it's the only thing that ever has. So graduates, I wish you much success, good health, and a never-ending sense of wonder. This will always be your college, and I hope that when you come back to visit or just think back on your time with us, it always feels just a little bit like home. We won't forget you, so don't forget us. Miigwech, merci beaucoup. Thanks very much.
So thank you, President Jensen, for your thoughtful remarks and words of wisdom to our graduates. We now proceed with the conferral of an honorary degree. The college awards honorary degree on occasion to acknowledge exemplary achievement in education, industry, community service, or other areas of leadership in our society. This honor is bestowed upon men and women who have made a difference in the life of our students, our college, and our country. Individuals who share the college's values of caring, learning, integrity, and respect, and who serve as shining example of what is possible when one is committed to the betterment of our community and our world. I will now call upon Chris Hahn, Dean of the Perth campus, to please step forward for the presentation of the honorary degree. Chris.
So thank you, Claude. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. It's my privilege to announce to you today that we are awarding a posthumous honorary degree to Leonard Lee. Accepting on his behalf is his son, Mr. Robin Lee. Mr. Lee, may I ask you to please stand as we read the citation in honor of your father. Now, the term Renaissance man may be old-fashioned, but it does capture the character of Leonard Lee, the late founder of one of Ottawa's iconic companies, Lee Valley Tools. A Renaissance man is someone, man or woman, who is knowledgeable, versatile, proficient in a variety of fields, and well-rounded. Leonard's life certainly fits this description. Born and raised in rural Saskatchewan, he earned degrees in engineering and economics at Royal Military College and Queen's University before joining and serving 20 years with the Canadian Foreign Service. But then in 1978, approaching 40 years of age, Leonard abandoned the civil service to turn his love of woodworking into a business with the founding of Lee Valley Tools. The original mail-order business he and his wife Lorraine established soon grew into a nationwide chain known for its high-quality goods. Leonard led the company until he passed away in 2016 at the age of 77. He was much honored in his life, receiving everything from awards for business excellence in industrial design and marketing to the Order of Canada. Over the course of his life, he was lauded as an entrepreneur, an innovator, business leader, volunteer, and philanthropist. Algonquin College has certainly benefited from Leonard's Renaissance qualities. Lee Valley donates tools and teaching time to the Heritage Carpentry and Joinery program at the Perth campus. He was a big supporter of trades training in community colleges, and he believed in an education that combined learning and know-how. Students, he argued, needed to be educated in facts without having their imaginations suppressed. As he once put it in a speech, the fantasies of a child combined with a stock of facts can easily evolve into the lateral thinker of tomorrow, who has the imagination to create productive linkages, whether it is in social linkages or in new product development. The sentiment fits well with Algonquin's mission to provide learners with the know-how to achieve their own lifelong success. And the college is pleased to honor a man who exemplified such a well-rounded life. Madam President, members of the Board of Governors, graduates, ladies and gentlemen, our campus, our college, and our community feel privileged to award a posthumous honorary degree to Mr. Leonard Lee. President Jensen, may I ask you to please escort Mr. Robin Lee to the front of the stage for the formal presentation. Mr. Lee, by authority of the Board of Governors and on behalf of President Jensen, Algonquin College is pleased to confer a posthumous honorary degree on your late father, Leonard Gordon Patrick Lee. So I'd like to thank you, Mr. Lee, for accepting this honor on behalf of your father, and to all, Mr. Lee will now give the convocation address.
President Jensen, Dean Hahn, faculty and staff, graduates, friends and family, it's really my privilege to be invited here to accept this honorary degree on behalf of my father, Leonard Lee. Dad had always been proud of his association with Algonquin College, and he would have been more than proud at the honor being given him here today. Since I've been asked to stand in his place, I feel I should take this opportunity to share a little bit of his story. And there's going to be a little bit of repetition here because clearly the staff at Algonquin really did a lot of good research. Dad grew up in a log home on a farm in Saskatchewan. And this was not the kind of construction that you'd see on the Perth campus or on Timber Kings on TV, but a very, very basic log structure with no insulation, no electricity, no indoor plumbing. My grandfather had a grade 2 education. My grandmother went as far as grade 8. But make no mistake, their lack of formal education did not define their limitations or their capacity. Both were hard workers, rich with experience, and education was very highly valued in their household. 3 of their children stayed in school right through high school, and all 3 ended up getting degrees. Eventually, at the age of over 80, my grandmother was awarded an honorary doctorate for her social activism and her community service. Growing up on a farm, Dad learned all about hard work, self-reliance, and community. He worked with my grandfather at a small pulpwood mill when he wasn't in school, and he actually lost a fingertip there, not to a saw blade, but to the belt that was powering the saw. It also occasioned his first trip to the hospital and his first encounter with a flush toilet, which he told me was one of the most embarrassing days of his life because he had absolutely no idea how it worked. He went to school in a one-room schoolhouse, heated by a barrel stove. That schoolhouse stove would be the inspiration for Lee Valley's first product, made in Carleton Place. It was also one of our first product mistakes because the pattern maker at Findlay Foundry missed the letter E in Carleton Place, and we actually had to redo the tooling. When Dad finished high school, he enrolled at RMC, where he completed 3 years of engineering and was appointed the Cadet Wing Commander for his 4th-year class. Unfortunately, a chronic ear imbalance left him unable to fly, and he was unable to do the aerobatics necessary to be a wing commander. Since he could not continue in his branch of service that he chose, he ended up transferring to Queen's University for a degree in economics. While he had a strong commitment to education and study, he was no stranger to working with his hands. He paid for his schooling by working as a bricklayer and later a surveyor in northern Canada. After graduation, he went to work for the federal government, first in the Foreign Service and later in the Department of Industry, Trade and Commerce. Throughout his life, he stayed true to his rural Saskatchewan roots. Our family always had a small piece of land, sometimes a bigger one, and he stayed connected with farming and doing things for himself. Growing up, we always had a garden large enough to feed 2 families, and he taught us all to drive a tractor, plow, disc, and harrow. We bought and moved an old barn onto the property, had a barn raising with all of the family friends. We framed a gambrel roof on that farm, learned how to mix mortar and how to chink logs, something that we do repeatedly as we continued to build cottages and buildings out of log. We even built an ice house and put up ice in the wintertime. While handwork and people were always a part of things that Dad did, Dad had very little interest in technology. Not that he was a Luddite, it's just that technology was only a means to an end for him. He derived little or no pleasure from owning anything that was technologically advanced. In fact, when he passed away in 2016, he was still using a functioning flip phone and had a wired handset in his car. Now in its 40th year this year, the firm he built continues to stand the test of time. But his legacy is not represented by the buildings or the product that we sell, but by the corporate culture that he put in place, supported by the family values of a rural Saskatchewan boy. Tell the truth, treat the customer like a friend, and be committed to your community. Or, as he used to say, you always dance with the people who brought you. That's why I think he had such an affinity for Algonquin College. The commitment to community service-related programs, craft, and the acquisition and expression of skill-based learning. He would have been pleased to be standing before you today. So the second part of the address is where convention would have me leave you with some inspirational words to cap your experience here and to see you off into the future. I do so with a fair amount of trepidation because the world that you face as graduates is quite a bit different from the one I did when I left school, not that it was that long ago. So here goes. As graduates of a Canadian educational institution, you have already won the lottery. You are in Canada. a country full of opportunity and with a quality of life that ranks first in the world. We are economically stable, family-friendly, and have well-developed public health and education systems. In fact, the U.S. News and World Report ranks Canada as the second best country overall after Switzerland. And unless you speak German, I'd recommend staying here. The U.S. ranks 7th, and those are not alternative facts or fake news. You have security and excellent support systems and should have every expectation that you can build the future that you want. I've had the opportunity to meet both students and faculty here at Algonquin and come away impressed by the commitment and knowledge of the staff and the high degree of engagement of the students. But recognize, too, that graduation is not the end of your learning, but the start. Your years of experience here have set you up well to continue learning and developing your skills. As an employer who has hired dozens of people from Algonquin College, I can speak directly to the value of your education. You've been instructed by people who have real-world experience and that have hard skills. You've been exposed to the practical as well as the theoretical by people who have done real jobs. You've shown that you can learn, apply yourself with focus, and continue to make progress. So, the best advice that I can give at this point is during the early stages of whatever you choose to do, be mindful of focusing on some of the softer skills that perhaps you didn't learn in school. These are often overlooked by even senior executives. These are skills that everybody in our organization practices. The first one is listening. Cultivate your ability to listen deeply, whether to your coworkers, your customers, your suppliers. Your success will no longer be measured by objective tests or assignments, but by your ability to meet or exceed the expectations of others. Clarity of purpose and execution is rooted in concentration and listening. Be curious. Always ask questions and keep an open mind. There's always something that's not being said. Understand that people always like to talk about themselves and their activities. There's much to be gained from the learnings of others. Stay curious, and you will continue to learn and discover. Write well. This is one of the weakest skills we see. Your writing represents you when you're not present. In fact, it is you. Never put in anything into writing that you would not say to your mother. Never publish anything you would not show to your mother. Everything you write, everything you publish will live in the cloud forever. Finally, find a way to give back to your community. Not necessarily money, because I know it's been a long time and a hard bunch of years, but certainly your time. You'll be enriched by your interaction with others. So there you have it, 4 easy and free pieces of advice to focus on, which should serve you well for years to come. Congratulations to each one of you on your achievements, and may there be many more successes in your future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Lee, for sharing what is probably a glimpse of your father's rich life and the values that were transmitted in your family, and for your inspiring words to our graduates. Thank you very much. So at this time, it's my pleasure to introduce 2 co-valedictorian this evening. Normally it's 1 this year, it's 2, and I'll explain why. Now, it's not normally the tradition to share this role, but the consensus was that it was the combination of Jillian Cummings and Caitlin Singfield that best represented the special place that is the Perth campus. Both women came to the Carpentry and Joinery Heritage Program in the fall of 2016, each already holding university degrees, and neither having met before. They became fast friends to both each other, as well as the campus and the community of Perth. Caitlin and Jillian have not only excelled academically, but they have also been wonderful ambassador of the Perth campus and the Heritage Carpentry Program. Their faculty noted their outstanding commitment to helping fellow students succeed, their natural leadership skills, their community involvement, and their efforts to enhance college life throughout the campus. So ladies and gentlemen, please welcome co-valedictorian Jillian and Caitlin.
Oh, wow, okay. Good evening, President Jensen, honored guests, family members, friends, and fellow graduates.
My name is Jill.
And I'm Kate.
We are honored to have been asked to speak here this evening on behalf of our fellow graduates. Some of you may be wondering why there are two of us up here.
Our best guess is that after 2 years of being pretty much inseparable, spending all of our time together,
And finishing each other's sentences,
the faculty still couldn't tell us apart. So here we are.
we know our friendship is not unique here, though. Many of us came to this school as strangers and are leaving as true friends. The community we have built together is unique, and like nothing either of us had experienced anywhere else.
We thought back on our time here, and we couldn't help but focus on that community, on how we went from not knowing each other's names to working together, learning together, sometimes karaokeing together, and to being a family.
If you search the definition of community, you'll find things like a group of people living in the same place or having a particular characteristic in common. What is so special about our community here is that people from all sorts of places with different backgrounds somehow came together and built their own new space, not based on a shared history or age or geographical location, but based on a common goal.
For whatever reason, and everyone's is different, we all made the decision to come here and get this diploma. Somewhere, it turned into so much more than that, turned into more than just your journey and your diploma.
Along the way, it became about the journey of your friends, your classmates. Somehow, all of our individual goals turned into each other's. But this community goes beyond just the students enrolled.
To our instructors, your passion for what you do and your genuine care for student success inspires students and allows this community to grow. Thank you for giving us your time, both in and outside of the classroom, and for sharing what you know and igniting within us a curiosity that we will take with us wherever we go next.
One of the things that makes learning so accessible at this campus is the access to resources for both students and instructors alike. Without Kendra and Allison in the library, we wouldn't have even known where to begin. Thank you for being our guides.
As Heritage students, we would be remiss not to give a special shout out to our amazing shop techs. Annie, Rob, and Jim, you are our heroes, truly.
To everybody else behind the scenes that helped make it run so smoothly, the custodians,
All of the office staff,
student support services,
Lee in the essay,
Sam in the registrars,
and we could never forget Derek, who made sure that we were always well-fed and well-caffeinated.
each of you plays an important role in this community, and we thank you all.
Throughout the past year, I personally worked closely with our academic chair, Sarah, and our dean, Chris Hahn. I would like to thank you both for your patience, your willingness to hear students out, and for your understanding of how important this community is to so many.
To the family and friends who encouraged us throughout this journey, we wouldn't be here without you. The support system you have provided us in our lives has been instrumental in our success.
And finally, to our classmates, it is you who made this experience more than just going to class, more than just essays and projects. You made it fun, you made it exciting, and it allowed all of us to push our learning beyond what we thought was possible.
In all our searching about community, the definition that resonated with us the most was this:
Community is a group of people that care about each other and feel that they belong together.
when people care about each other, they develop trust, and trust unlocks collaboration, sharing, support, hope, safety, and much more. We could not define our experience at Algonquin College better than this if we tried. We started out as random strangers and built real relationships here.
As we move forward, we're all taking different paths. Some of us will begin our careers, some will move on to further education, and others will use their newfound skills in their retirement. No matter the decision, we hope that when we all leave here today, we take with us the values that this community has taught us.
The ability to work with your peers, to foster relationships, and work towards common goals.
to find that trust within each other and use it as a building block in collaborative efforts.
To be inspired and excited about what you are doing, and to always keep the curiosity alive.
We have truly loved our experience at Algonquin College Perth campus. We didn't quite know what to expect when coming here. For both of us, it was a new town, a new skill set, and a new career path. And yet, at the end of the road, 2 years later, we can confidently say we made the right choice in taking this leap.
Congratulations to all the graduates. Everyone has worked hard to get here today, and it does not go unnoticed. You all do amazing things, and we are proud to stand with you today.
Thank you.
Thank you, Caitlin and Jill. They are inseparable. I'm so glad that it came together and we made this a co-valedictorian. Well, we now move to the part of our ceremony where we recognize you, our graduates, with a presentation of certificates and diploma. So once again, I would like to call upon Chris Hahn, Dean of the Perth campus, to introduce the graduates of the Perth campus. Chris?
Thank you, Claude. So I'm pleased to be here on behalf of the staff and faculty of the Perth campus, who are very proud of all our graduates and feel privileged to have been part of their successful learning journeys. At this time, on behalf of Algonquin College, I'd like to acknowledge the commitment and successes of the graduates, and I would ask you, the graduates, to please rise. Madam President, each of these graduates has dedicated themselves to successfully completing the requirements of their program. These individuals are ready to make their mark in their chosen career, and it is with great pleasure and honor that I recommend them for graduation. Thank you, graduates. Please be seated. Claude?
We're going to keep playing with that mic all night. You realize that? All right. Thank you, Dean Hahn. I would now like to ask President Jensen to step forward to receive the graduates. Ladies and gentlemen, may I ask that you please hold your applause until all the credentials have been presented so we can hear the name of each graduate. However, a well-placed hoot or howl has never hurt anyone. I will now ask Andrew Parmenter, coordinator from the Heritage Carpentry and Joinery Program, to come forward and begin the presentation of the graduates. Andrew.
So Miles Betteridge. Miles is this year's recipient of the Outstanding Achievement in Timber Frame Award. Matthew Butcher. Selena Champagne. Tyler Clark. Mackenzie Cranston. Jillian Cummings. Perry Godsu. Tomas Lucas. Fabio Novaes Guimares Rancevas. Peter Reed. Zachary Shaw. Graham Sheets. Graham is this year's co-recipient of the Outstanding Achievement in Joinery Skills Award sponsored by Lee Valley. I would invite Mr. Robin Lee to come forward to present this award to Graham. Caitlin Singfield. Darren Taubman.
Thank you.
And David Thompson. David is this year's recipient of the Dedication to the Carpenter Trade Award, sponsored by Perth Home Hardware. I would invite Richard Eller, owner of Perth Home Hardware, to come forward to present this award to David. Phoebe Williams. And Stephanie Zeller. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates of the Heritage Carpentry Program. I will now ask Mark Bell, coordinator of the Advanced Housing Program, to come forward to introduce their graduating class.
Braden Anderson. Anthony Borman. Anthony is this year's recipient of the Most Improved Student Award, sponsored by Perth Home Hardware. I'd invite Richard Ellard, owner of Perth Home Hardware, to come forward and present the award to Anthony.
Thank you very much.
Nestle Charles. John Gay. Sean Gordon. Alexander Grease. And Samir Sunderjay. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates of the Advanced Housing Program. I would now ask Jancis Pincock, coordinator of the Early Childhood Education Program, to come forward to introduce the graduating class.
Brighton Cassidy. Elizabeth Evans. Alicia George. Lindsay Hewitt. Elizabeth Hunter. Cassie McFadden. Tabitha Portis. Tabitha is this year's recipient of the Award of Excellence in Field Placement, sponsored by the Appleseed Preschool. I would like to ask Christine Martel, Vice Principal at Appleseed Preschool, to come forward to present this award to Tabitha. Ladies and gentlemen, I present the Early Childhood Education class of 2018. I would like to ask Chris Hahn, the Dean of the Perth campus, to come forward to introduce the Masonry, Heritage, and Traditional graduating class. Thank you.
Brighton Cassidy. No? Okay, so I have to read the ones that aren't highlighted. Oh. Okay, it helps to turn the page. First time calling, Simon Cheresda. He's not here either. Martin? Yeah. Martin. Martinelli. Martin is this year's recipient of the Dedication to Traditional Stone Masonry Techniques Award, sponsored by the Dry Stone Walling across Canada. Aaron Johnson. Aaron is this year's recipient of the Outstanding Achievement Award, sponsored by Preston Hardware. Damian Patterson. Brian Swackhammer. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates of the Heritage Masonry Program. Now ask Monique Cochran from the Business Management Entrepreneurship and Office Administration Executive Programs to come forward to introduce their graduating classes.
This microphone is getting a lot of exercise. Here we go. All right. Could I ask Caitlin Bashara to come forward? Hillary Gauthier. Caitlin Gogo. Nicole Reed. Dawn Barrington. Lainey Brandon. Michelle Doherty. Ainsley Gabrielle Buchanan. Ainsley is this year's recipient of the Professionalism Award provided by Sarah Anderson, graduate of the Office Administration Executive Program. I would invite Sarah Anderson. I think she already has. Nicole Hickey. Sarah Jane Labache. Roberta McNally. Melissa Radcliffe. Melissa is also graduated this year from the Office Administration Medical Services. Michelle Tremblay.
Thank you. Thanks.
Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the graduates of the Business Management and Entrepreneurship Program, Office Administration and Executive. I would now ask Jerry Salisbury, coordinator of the Police Foundations Program, to come forward to introduce his graduating class. Jerry.
Good evening, everybody. It is my pleasure to introduce you to our Police Foundations Program graduates. Ryan Arthur. Robert Finley. Craig Flake. Gerald Zach Lafreniere.
We had to get ready.
Martin Lane Leo. Congratulations. Martin is this year's recipient of the Police Foundation's Community Involvement Award, sponsored by the Perth Mayor, John Fennick. Mikhail Lalonde. Congratulations, Mikhail. Oh, jeez. Brianna Lamming. Dawson Lamon. Calvin Plant. Congratulations, Calvin. Calvin is this year's recipient of the Police Foundation's Leadership Award, sponsored by the Smith Falls Police Services Board. Ladies and gentlemen, please join me in congratulating the graduates of the Police Foundation's program. I would now ask Jane Cunningham, coordinator of the Social Service Worker Program, to come forward to introduce their graduating class.
Good evening, everybody. Gwendolyn Adams. Jamie Auclair. Keely Bowes. Crystal Brady. Brittany Burton. Brianne Eamon. Sherry Huckel. Alina Jakes. Alina is this year's recipient of the United Way Improving Lives and Building Community Award. I would ask Helen McIntosh, Chair of Lanark County United Way Advisory Council, to come forward to present this award to Alina. Aaron Johnson. Haley Lagasse. Jeff Majori. Blake Mason. Aisley Mae McCarthy. Rebecca Murphy. Trinity Peters. Angela Rochon. Jessica Shaven. Pamela Smith. Allison Usher. Amanda Wade. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates of the Social Service Worker Program. I would now ask Monique Cochran, coordinator of the Office Administration General Program, to come forward to introduce their graduating class.
Stephanie Charon. You did it, girl. Jennifer Susi. Krista Lee Van Dusen. Please join me in congratulating the graduates of the Office Administration General Program. I would now ask Stephanie Lee, coordinator of the Personal Support Worker Program, to come forward and introduce their graduating class.
Thanks, Monique. Shelby Abrams. Amy Ayers. Kira Bell. Sean Boucher. Yeah, good job, Boucher. Sean is this year's recipient of the United Way Improving Lives and Building Community Award, and Helen McIntosh is coming forward to present this award to Sean. Patricia Brunel. Julie Chaput. Jaden Cummings. Sorry, Jessica Ferguson. Catherine Ford. Graham Yermolitis. And Graham is this year's recipient of the Excellence in Home Care Award, sponsored by Bayshore Home Healthcare. And Jeff Davis, who's the clinical manager of Bayshore Home Healthcare in Carleton Place, is here to present this award to Graham. Michelle Abonte. Emma LaForest. Michael Meehan. Mackenzie Mitchell. Jessica Oakley. Brianna Pegg. Lillian Percy. Alyssa Perot. And Chelsea Scheel. And Chelsea is this year's recipient of the Outstanding Proficiency in Clinical Performance Award. Ladies and gentlemen, the graduates of the Personal Support Worker Program of 2018. May I please ask the graduates of the Perth campus to rise as I get to formally introduce the Perth campus class of 2018.
Thank you, graduates. You may be seated. So let's take a moment to show our appreciation for all the faculty members who presented the graduates. Thank you. So President Jensen, I would ask that you remain standing as we'll invite you to join our donors and presenters in awarding college and campus-wide awards this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, as you know, Convocation is also the occasion to present special awards to students who have excelled in their academic careers. Our program awards were all presented moments ago to our graduates, and now we would like to present the remaining awards. We will begin with the Robert C. Gillett Leadership Award. This award is presented to a graduating student in a post-secondary or graduate certificate program who has demonstrated exemplary voluntary leadership, which contributes to the overall college experience. This year's recipient is Gwendolyn Adams, a graduate of the Social Service Worker Program. Congratulations, Gwendolyn. Our next award, the Algonquin College Perth Campus Annual Award of Excellence, is presented to a graduate of the Perth campus who has maintained a high level of academic achievement and has made an outstanding contribution to supporting school activities and influencing the quality of life at the campus. I would invite Chris Hahn, Dean of the Perth campus, to join President Jensen in presenting this year's Perth Campus Annual Award of Excellence to Jill Cummings, graduate of the Carpentry and Joinery program. Good? Yeah? Okay. Congratulations, Jill. Now we'll present the Perth Campus Indomitable Spirit Award. This award is presented to a graduate of a post-secondary program who has made a significant contribution to the campus and or program activities while overcoming significant challenges. On behalf of past Dean, Linda Cook, I would like to invite Sandra Marchand and Monique Cochran, members of our office administration programs, to come forward to present the Perth Campus Indomitable Spirit Award to this year's recipient, Jennifer Susi, graduate of our Office Administration General Program. Something tells me this was a surprise. All right, congratulations, Jennifer. And finally, the Perth Campus Leadership Award. This award is presented each year to a graduate of a post-secondary program who has demonstrated leadership with both students and campus initiative, has contributed to a local community, and who has a grade point average of at least 3.0. At this time, I would like to invite Joan McCartney, former Dean, to join President Jensen, come forward and present the Perth Leadership Award to your 2018 recipient, Caitlin Singfield, graduate of the Carpentry Engineering Heritage Program. Thank you, Joan, and congratulations, Caitlin. Well, we have come to the end of this evening's program. There are many within the college who work hard to plan and coordinate such a ceremony, and although they're too numerous to mention, I would like us to take a moment to thank them for their effort. It has been a pleasure to celebrate with you tonight, and it's also my pleasure to welcome you, our graduates, as our president mentioned earlier, as our newest member of the Algonquin Alumni Association. Please be sure to send us your success stories and stay connected through the Algonquin Alumni website. As we come to the end of our program, we invite all of our graduates and their families and friends to gather in the atrium to continue our celebration. There you will find several areas where you can take pictures. We do need to ask you to leave the academic gowns with our team before you leave the school. A video of tonight's ceremony will be available online shortly for you to share with your family and friends who could not make it to tonight's ceremony. You'll find the link on the Perth campus website shortly. Many thanks to you, our graduates, and to your families and friends for joining us this evening. Congratulations again, and best wishes. So, ladies and gentlemen, may I please ask that you stand and remain standing until the end of the recession of the stage party, the faculty and the graduates. Thank you. Good evening.